Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to historic Hibbing Speedway. A couple reminders that the seats under the main grandstands with the greenbacks, no smoking or drinking in that section. That is our family section. No drinking in the seats with the greenbacks. And now here at Hibbing Speedway, no smoking or vaping anywhere in the grandstands. No smoking or vaping anywhere in the grandstands. And don't forget, coming up on Tuesday night here in Hibbing, NASCAR legend Ryan Newman will be here. He'll be racing the car you just saw go around in hot laps, the High on the Hog barbecue late model, and signing autograph, chance for you to get your picture taken with him and meet Ryan Newman. He'll be all here on Tuesday night, as well as $5,000 to win late models. That's Tuesday night racing coming up in just a few days here at Hibbing Speedway. Well, we're about to get our racing program underway, but before we do, we ask at this time if you would all please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats. And before we have the singing of our national anthems, we'll have tonight's invocation from Mark Brenny from Racers for Christ.
Dear Heavenly Father, we give you all the glory and honor here tonight. We just thank you for the freedoms that you give us through our veterans and all of our armed force people that protect the freedoms that we have here to be able to race tonight. And Lord, we just ask you to please keep all the drivers safe, their crews, and all the fans here tonight. We just ask you this in your holy and blessed name, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Mark. And if you could remain standing and direct your attention towards the flags in the pits as we have the singing of both our Canadian and American anthems by Mr. Jerry Tucker.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is Saturday night, and welcome to historic Hibbing Speedway for another night of racing. As we've got our Hornets, our late models, our super stocks, and our modifieds racing for your enjoyment here this evening. Once again, don't forget, coming up on Tuesday's special late model event. It'll be the Ironman racing here at the Hibbing Speedway. $5,000 to win. That is all coming up on Tuesday night for our late models. Ryan Newman from NASCAR fame will be here. Hot laps getting underway at 6:30 and racing at 7 o'clock. Mark that on your calendars, coming up on Tuesday night here in Hibbing. We are going to kick off our Saturday night with our Hornets, 22 Hornets racing here this evening. Here's how we'll line them up in heat race number one. Here's one of the players on that team that made it to the state tournament back in March in the 96 car. Racing out of Hibbing, that'll be Trenton Beal. Alongside of him, made the trip all the way from Fairmont, North Dakota. Driving the 3 car is Christian Cast. In the 13 car, racing out of Babbitt will be Anastasia Chavez. Alongside of her, calling Bovee home in the 10 cars, Easton Pfeiffer. row number 3 to the inside. Here from Alexandria in the 27.5, that's Travis Bruns. Alongside of him from Pierce in the 21 car will be Colton Lodermeyer. And in row number 4 will be Russell Kiker Jr. alongside the 22 of Paige Kittner. Going to give one to go from the flag stand. Looks like we are missing the 13 TB of Anastasia Chavez. Other than that, everyone else is out there. Russell Kiker Jr., one of the top runners in all of Wissota. He is driving the 13 car. In fact, he won on Tuesday night here in Hibbing. Green flag out. Here we go. To the inside, Trenton Beal. Beal's going to lead lap number 1. Right behind him in the 10 car is Easton Pfeiffer and the 03 of Christian Cast here from Fairmont, North Dakota. We're going 6 laps here in our heat races in our Hornets. Mentioned Russell Kiker Jr. actually currently sitting 4th in points in Wissota. One of the guys that was here and won on Tuesday, Bobby Arnez, out of Forreston, is the current points leader. Number 2, Brady Faso, and Anthony Jensen sitting in 3rd. Right now it's Trenton Beal. Beal, your leader. Pfeiffer, Kiker, and Cast, your top 4. Trenton Beal looking for his first win here in 2025. Last year, picked up a feature win in Grand Rapids, picked up one here at the Hibbing Speedway. Looking for his first heat win of the season. Got himself a pretty good lead. We've gone to transponders here in the Hornets, so we can tell that he has got a 2.4 second lead, turning laps at about 17.6. Which here at Hibbing Speedway equates out to about 68 miles per hour. Continues to be, and your winner, averaging a little over 68 miles per hour, his first heat win of the year in the 96 car racing out of Hibbing. Your winner will be Trenton Beal. Beal followed by Russell Kiker Jr., sitting 4th in national points, followed by Easton Pfeiffer. Then we saw Christian Cast, Travis Bruns, your top finishers in heat race number 1. 3 heats of Hornets here tonight. Heat race number 2 coming out will be on the pole in that 188 car. We will have Ian Van Vickel. He races out of Hibbing. Alongside of him in the 21 will be Tiffany Hauda Sanders. Then row number 2 in that black 79, that'll be Michaela Labarge. She'll be alongside of Nick Ruzich from Hibbing. Jerry Adams out from Brule. How about Buell? I was thinking of Brule, Wisconsin, but he's from the home of the greatest water in the area, right? Buell, Minnesota. And he'll be alongside last year's track champion, Jada Lohr. And that guy we talked about sitting currently 2nd in national points in the 27 car, that is Brady Faso. So Van Vickel in the 188. Tiffany Howdes Sanders is in the 21 on your front row. Green flag out, and we are underway with heat race number 2. Early leader is the 9 car of Nick Ruzich out of Hibbing. Ian Van Vickel right alongside him. Ruzich on the year does have one heat win here at Hibbing Speedway. Came back on May 31st. But now Van Vickel in the lead. Van Vickel looking for his first of 2025. Van Vickel started on the pole. Ruzich took the lead momentarily, and then Van Vickel took it back. Right now it is Van Vickel, followed by Nick Ruzich. Michaela Labarge hanging on to that 3rd spot. Brady Faso up into 4th. Faso 2nd in national points behind Bobby Arnes, who will be coming up here in heat race number 3. White flag out for Ian Van Vickel. And he will take the checkered flag, and he is going to win heat race number 2. First heat win of the season for the driver of the 188 racing out of Hibbing. Your winner will be Ian Van Vickel. Van Vickel followed by Nick Ruzich. Then we saw Michaela Labarge, the 27 of Brady Faso, and the 24 JR of Jada Lohr. Third and final heat coming up in your Hornets. Here's how we'll line them up. Made the trip down from Thunder Bay. Drives the 34. That'll be Selena Owen. Alongside of Selena in the 71, we'll have Nathan Bird out of Kelly Lake. Another Kelly Lake driver, Brian Barker, in the 4 car on the inside of row number 2. Alongside of Dakota Larson, made the trip up from Kettle River in the 26. McKenna Fulstead, who already has a couple of feature wins here in Hibbing. She'll be in the 25 on the inside of row number 3, alongside Wisota's guy who leads the points right now and won on Tuesday night here from Forreston. That is Bobby Arnes, and Jazz Ziebel out of Cloquet drives the 50Z. So we'll give him one more to go as they come past our flag man up in the flag stand. Well, Arnes not only leads national points, four feature wins so far this year. He's got one here in Hibbing. He's got one in Ogilvie. Actually, a couple, 3 of them in Ogilvie so far. Almost 3 wide coming out of turns 2 and 3. They'll go 3 wide into turn 3 into the 26 car. Your new leader is Dakota Larson. Larson just passes the 34 of Selena Owen. And a car around over in turn 2 bumps into another car, McKenna Folstead, but Folstead going to come to a stop on the back of turn number, out of turn number 2. Well, Dakota Larson is splitting the uprights already with a feature win at Gondiclaw Speedway this year. Got a couple of heat wins, one in Proctor and one in Ogilvie. Still going to have to watch out for that 94 car of Bobby Arnaz. Arnaz, your current WISSOTA National Points leader, won on Tuesday night here at Hibbing Speedway. We'll get them lined up. We do appreciate all of you coming out and joining us here this evening. And all of those joining us on XR Events and XR Plus. And McKenna Folstead needs to get back in line. Here it kind of looks like McKenna has her helmet off. Again, racing a Tuesday night here at Hibbing Speedway. Longtime NASCAR driver Ryan Newman will be here. Newman winning a heat race, but then losing to Colby Koski in a USRA late model down at the Cedar Lake Speedway about a week ago. Of course, Colby Koski, one of the sons of Doug Koski, who races here on a regular basis. Had to be kind of a thrill for him to beat Ryan Newman down at Cedar Lake. And indeed, McKenna Folstead with her helmet off. So problems for the 25 after that little bump out of turn number 2. 1 lap in, 7 remain. So racing Tuesday night here at Hibbing Speedway. And then if you want to come down to Gondiclaw Speedway, we have the 9th annual border battle going on Friday and Saturday nights. And then the South St. Louis County Fair going on in Proctor. And they will have their fair races next Sunday night. So racing the 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2 nights in Superior, 1 in Proctor, as well as Tuesday night here at Hibbing Speedway this week. Dakota Larson looking for his first win here at Hibbing Speedway this year. Said 1 feature win this year for Dakota and a couple of heat wins. Heat wins down in Proctor and also at the Ogilvie Speedway. All right, going to give him 1 to go from our flag stand. 1 in, 7 remain. 3rd of 3 in our Hornets tonight. It is early in the year, only a few races in here at Hibbing Speedway, but McKenna Folstead and Brady Fossil are tied for the early points lead. Dakota Larson gets a great restart, but a lot of race to go, still 6 remaining. And the Wissota National Points leader out on the track in that white and pink 94. Saw a couple of those street stock drivers that were here on Tuesday night, racing last night at the River City Speedway, putting on a little bit of a show before the World of Outlaw sprint cars last night. Three wide into three. It will be Arnes who comes out. He is into third. He gets ahead of the 34 of Selena Owen and also the 21 car of the 71 of Nathan Bird. So right now it is all Dakota Larson. Sitting in second will be the 4 Brian Barker. That'll be Bobby Arnes, followed by the 71 of Nathan Bird, and then the 34 of Selena Owen. 2 to go for Dakota Larson. And Dakota Larson going to win here in Hibbing. Got wins in Proctor, in Ogilvie, and a feature win already this year at the Gondik Law Speedway in Superior. And he will pick up a win here in heat race number 3. So coming here from Kettle River, your winner in that 26 car will be Dakota Larson. All right, late models out here for the first time tonight. 2 heats of late models. We'll go 8 laps in each of our heat races. Here's how we're going to line them up on the inside of row 1, driving that 6M out of Keewatin. We'll have Jeff Massengill alongside of him in the 54. We'll have Rick Nemi here from Evelyn. Jack Caranda made the trip up from Bluffton today. He's driving the 22. Kyle Peterlin in the 23. George Ledeen is here in the 35 out of Britt. First time here this year for the 71 car of Zach Wallers. And in row number 4 in that 37, that will be Skeeter SD. So we'll give one to go from the flag stand. It is Massengill and Nemi on that front row. Coranda and Peterlin row number 2. Ledeen and Wallers row 3. And Skiedreski in row 4. Gorgeous night here up on Minnesota's historic Iron Range. Temperatures in the low 80s at race time tonight. All week long, including yesterday, it looked like we were going to get rain, but cleared up this morning, and it's been a beautiful day. It is Massengill that wins the race to turn number 1, but it'll be Coranda that wins the race out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Jack Coranda in the 22. Jeff Massengill behind him. Kyle Peterlin up into 3rd. Rick Nemi into 4th. And then George Ledeen. Coranda hanging on and leading this one. Continues to be Massengill. Now we got a car up and off of turn number 3. That'll be the 71 of Zach Wallers. First time this year here for the 71. Made the trip down to St. Louis and raced in the Dome over the winter. Did have one heat win here in Hibbing a year ago, 2 years ago. Been a while since Zach has won a feature race here at Hibbing Speedway. And unfortunately, going to have to get picked up by the folks from Iron Range Towing. Once again, Tuesday night, Ryan Newman from NASCAR fame will be here at Hibbing Raceway, racing one of the late models, going for that $5,000 first place prize. That is all coming up on Tuesday night. Kick off your 4th of July weekend with racing here at historic Hibbing Speedway. Jack Coranda looking for his first win of the year. Massengill shows him his nose going into turn 3. Right behind them, the 54 of Rick Nemi and the 23 of Kyle Peterlin. Continues to be Jack Coranda. Comes Rick Nemi on the outside, trying to get around the 22 of Jack Coranda. 2 to go, and we've got a new leader. It is the 54 of Rick Nemi. Actually, first race of the year for Jack Caranda. And the checkered flag will be out for the 54 of Rick Nemi. Took the lead with a lap to go. Picks up his first win of the season. The driver from Eveleth in the 54. Your winner will be Rick Nemi. Nemi followed by the 22 of Jack Caranda. First time out this year. Jeff Massengill finishes third. Kyle Peterlin takes that fourth spot. And then we'll have the 37X of Skeeter Esty. All right, here's how we're going to line them up in heat race number 2. Your pole sitter in the 13 car. Racing out of Hibbing will be Roger Paulo. Alongside of him in the 16, that's Derek Vessel. Row number 2 in the 79, we'll have Kevin Carlson out of Carlton, and the 30 out of Proctor of Kevin Burdick. Row number 3 to the inside, the 45J racing out of Grand Rapids is Johnny Broking. He's alongside the 28 out of Hibbing of Jeff Provenzino, and making the trip up from St. Cloud in the F15, that is Devin Faquette. Green flag out, quick start for the 16 of Derek Vessel. Vessel wins the race out of turn 2, down the back stretch into turn 3. Vessel, lap 1 leader. Paulo second, followed by Kevin Burdick, Kevin Carlson, and Jeff Provenzino. Derek Vessel. Heat wins. He's got one here and one over at Grand Rapids in 2025. Multiple times a track champion here at Hibbing Speedway. His lead last time by at 1.2 seconds over Kevin Burdick. Burdick, a former Superstock Minnesota National Champion. Johnny Broking working his way through the crowd, trying to get past the 13 of Roger Paulo into third. He will move up there. 2 to go for Derek Vessel. White flag out for the 16. Can he hold off? Burdick pulls up alongside him into turn 3. Burdick in the 30, Vessel in the 16. Here they come down the front stretch, and it will be Kevin Burdick who edges out Derek Vessel on the last turn. While picking up the win on the final turn in the 30 car, now calling Proctor home. Former Superstock National Champion in the 30 car. Your winner will be Kevin Burdick. Burdick followed by Derek Vessel. Then we saw Johnny Broking moving up into third, followed by Jeff Provenzino. Devin Fauquet finishes fifth, followed by Roger Paulo and Kevin Carlson. All right, going to get our Super Stocks underway here. We've got a couple of heats of Super Stocks. 15 on hand, making the trip down from Thunder Bay. I see him going around in that 77 car. He'll be in the outside of row number 1. That is Rick Simpson. To the inside, former track champion in the 11 car. That is scheduled to be Kevin Saleen. There he is. Row number 2, he's a former national champion in the 78 car, racing out of Becker, Minnesota. That is Dexton Cook. Alongside of him, former track champion in the Hornets here at Hibbing Raceway. His dad, one of the all-time great pure stock drivers out of Grand Rapids. That'll be Cheston Finkbone. Another former national champion in the Hornet division, driving that 47 car out of Grand Rapids. That is Justin Barsness. Row number 3 to the outside in the 01 car will be Trevor Ahrens. And in row number 4, drives that 57, picked up the win on Tuesday night here in Hibbing. That will be Dalton Carlson. Alongside of him, the defending track champion in the 19 car. That is Tristan Labarge. Once again, remember, no smoking or vaping in the grandstands. No smoking or vaping in the grandstand area. Well, Tristan Labarge, our track champion in the Super Stocks in 2020. Then missed it in 2021, but then has won it 22, 23, and 24. So 4 out of the last 5 track championships going for the night to the 19 of Tristan Labarge. So Rick Simpson here from Thunder Bay, Ontario, on the outside of row number 1. Kevin Saleen in the 11-year pole sitter. Dexton Cook, the defending Superstock national champion in that white and green 78. He is inside the 40C of Cheston Finkbone. Three wide through turns 1 and 2. Cook to the inside, and we've got a car around. That's going to be Justin Barsness out of turn number 2, and that is going to bring out a caution flag. Racing scheduled for tomorrow night at the Proctor Speedway. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow night for racing in Proctor. Tuesday night we'll be back here at Hibbing Speedway. We talked about 4 out of the last 5 track championships here at Hibbing Speedway being won by Tristan Labarge. Dalton Carlson has 4 track championships over at the Grand Rapids Speedway, including one last year. And now Dexton Cook going to go around in turns 1 and 2, the defending Wissota national champion. Dexton Cook, a win already down in Princeton this year. 54 feature wins last year for the 78 of Dexton Cook. On track to win the Wissota National Points Championship. He was the track champion at the Granite City Motor Park Ogilvy Raceway, Princeton Speedway, and the I-94 Speedway. Had wins in Superior, 3 in Ogilvy. Did not win here at Hibbing last year. So Cook has to go to the back. The good news is did not get a lap in, so 8 to go. This is lap 1 of 8. Rick Simpson here from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Your leader. Simpson actually winning the track championship at the Thunder City Speedway a year ago. Did have one heat win here at Hibbing last year. Took a few years off from racing and now back in full strength as Dexton Cook has worked his way up into third as Tristan Labarge really getting into the 11 of Kevin Saline. Simpson here in 2025. 4 heat wins up at his home track of Thunder City. Simpson, followed by Cook, Tristan Labarge, Trevor Ahrens, and Dalton Carlson. White flag out for Rick Simpson. Had one heat win a year ago here at the Hibbing Raceway. Picks up one here tonight on his first trip. Well, made the trip down from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Used to be a regular Saturday night racer here in Hibbing. Your winner from Thunder Bay in the 77 car, that is Rick Simpson. Simpson followed by Dexton Cook, the defending Wissota national champion. Tristan Labarge, the defending track champion, finishes in third. Trevor Ahrens fourth. Dalton Carlson and Justin Barsness, your top finishers. All right, second of 2 coming out in your super stocks. Austin Bloom is here in the 3B. He'll be on the inside of row number 1. We talked about Doug Koski and his son beating Ryan Newman last week down at the Cedar Lake Speedway in the USRA late models. Doug Koski on the outside of row number 1. Jake Luark, first trip here from Princeton. He is in that 42 car alongside the 79 of Andy Labarge. Brian Vital in the 41 alongside his brother Mikey Vital, and Dan Severson here from Crosby. He drives the 30 car. Mikey and Brian, twin brothers. It is Brian in the purple, white, and kind of pink car, and the black and green 41. That is Mikey, former track champion here in Hibbing. Ryan Newman, NASCAR, longtime NASCAR driver, will be here Tuesday night. He'll be racing the High on the Hog special, or 28 special late model. Hopefully he can be here. Hot laps getting underway at 6:30 and racing at 7. That is all coming up Tuesday night. $5,000 to win. The late models here at Hibbing Speedway. Austin Bloom's in the 3B. Doug Koski's in the 76. That is your front row. Green flag out, 2nd and 2. Koski going to win the race out of turn 2 in that white 76. Bloom's second. Then a battle between the 42, first time here for Jake Luark, and the 79A of Andy Labarge. Koski leads lap 1. And we've got a car, that is Dan Severson, around over in turn number 2, and that'll bring out the caution flag. Koski looking for his first heat win of the season in that 76 car. One heat win in Superior. Last feature win for Doug came here on July 7th, 2023. Jake Luark making his first appearance here at Hibbing Raceway. In fact, this is his first race. He's raced at Cedar Lake. He's been at Ogilvie, his home track of Princeton. He's been up to Sauk Rapids and Granite City. Looking for his first feature win of the year. Best finish in a feature, finished 6th at the Granite City Motor Park. Also looking for his first heat win of 2025. Luark only 22 years old, racing out of Princeton in his 2nd year of racing. One in, 7 to go for the 76 of Doug Koski. Koski, your leader, followed by Austin Bloom, Andy Labarge, and Jake Luark. Luark in a battle there for 3rd and 4th with the 41 of Mikey Vital. Mentioned Doug Koski looking for his first heat win of the season. Actually, I'm sorry, as a first heat win of the year here in Hibbing. He's got one down at the Fiesta Speedway down in Montevideo. Finished 2nd in his heat on Tuesday night here at Hibbing. 2 to go for Doug Koski. Bloom sitting in 2nd. Followed by Andy Labarge, Mikey Vital, your top runners right now. One to go for Doug Koski. And he will take the checkered flag. First heat win of the year here in Hibbing for the driver of the 76 racing out of Chisholm. Your winner will be Doug Koski. Koski followed in that race by the 3B of Austin Bloom. Then we saw Andy Labarge, Mikey Vital, and Jake Luark, your top 5 finishers. Corby Builders sponsoring your modifieds. We'll have one heat. Going to throw 9 cars out there in this race. Mervyn Castle III moving up from a Midwest modified, driving his dad's car. Tonight, the 2 modified. Alongside of him in the familiar red 55, that is Jeff Wood. Row number 2, Jeff's son Jeffrey in the 55W. He'll be alongside the defending track champion in the 11 JR of Andrew Inman Jr. Row number 3 to the inside. Steve Stavanger is here from Gilbert in the 4S. He'll be alongside the 45, the white and blue car. That is Bob Broking out of Grand Rapids. Tyler Kittner drives the yellow and green 22 car from Hibbing. He's alongside the black and orange 2 car from Floodwood of Chris Magastad. And Peyton Emerson is in a modified, driving that 51E out of Grand Rapids. Peyton only 16 years old in that 51 car. His dad, Kaylee, a longtime racer around here, still races and pretty much runs the Northern Renegade sprint cars. So Peyton making his debut in the 51 here at Hibbing Speedway. Mervyn Castle making his debut in a modified, driving his dad's 2 car. Mervyn Castle wins the race to turns 1 and 2. It's the father-son of Jeffrey Wood in the black and white 55. His dad, Jeff, in the red 55. And we've got Andrew Inman up and off of turn number 3. And that one's going to be called on the 4S of Steve Stavanger. This one called on Stavanger, but he doesn't want to go to the back. think that Peyton Emerson is going to stay in the back. First year for the 16-year-old, first race for him. So did not get a lap in, 8 to go. Mervyn Castle III driving his dad Charlie's car in a modified tonight. Charlie's mom doing a great job, one of the people who checks us in as you go into the pit area here at Hibbing Speedway. And father and son get tangled up. I think part of that was it didn't look like the orange caution or the yellow caution light had completely gone off when the green flag was thrown. The light was still flashing here in front of us. And Jeff Wood not real happy. In fact, he took his helmet off, and his helmet is laying down over there in the turn. Jim Capo getting that picked up. Jeff Wood's helmet. Doing a little work here on Jeffrey Wood's car. Well, Mervyn Castle in his dad Charlie's car, driving a modified for the first time here tonight, and Peyton Emerson, whose dad drove many years here, still drives some sprint cars. First time out in that 51 car, only 16. I think that's what they're going to call it on. Say that the caution light was off because Jeffrey Wood going to go back up. He will be in second alongside of Andrew Inman. He's got his lane choice. He decides to stay on the inside. All right, got him straightened out. think they initially thought maybe they had a lap in, but now going back to a complete restart. So no laps in. 8 remain. Mervyn Castle, the nose lead out of turn 2 and down the back stretch. Alongside of him in the 55W, that is Jeffrey Wood. Lap number 1 is officially going to go to Jeffrey Wood by 89 1/1000ths of a second. Bob Broking is into third. In the 45, the 11 JR of Andrew Inman, then the 22 of Tyler Kittner. Bob Broking trying to get around Mervyn Castle, and he does. It is Bob Broking into second. Jeffrey Wood, Bob Broking, Mervyn Castle, and the 11 JR of Andrew Inman. Jeffrey Wood looking for his first heat win of the season. Finished second in the A-Main on Tuesday night. One more lap to try and hold off Bob Broking. Broking to the inside, and Bob Broking's going to get past the 55W of Jeffrey Wood. Well, he makes a pass out of turn number 2. Second heat win here in Hibbing for the driver of the 45. Your winner out of Grand Rapids will be Bob Broking. Bob followed by the 55W of Jeffrey Wood. Mervyn Castle driving his dad's car, first time in a modified, finishing in third, followed by Andrew Inman, Tyler Kittner, Chris Magestad, and the 16-year-old Peyton Emerson finishes in that 7th spot. So Bob Broking comes from row number 3. Well, that car out on the racetrack is one of those 28 special late models, and it has got the Ryan Newman number on. That is the car that Ryan Newman will be driving on Tuesday night here at Hibbing Speedway. $5,000 to win Tuesday night, late model special here at Hibbing Raceway. Ryan Newman from NASCAR fame. Hopefully we will see you on Tuesday night.